Okay, and welcome to our Pathfinder 2 game as I try to get some music that I was looking for going in the background and see if that works. Okay, so we're up to session number 63. We are currently picking up the story from last session where we ended with a major battle, and we have our character Doomsday standing in line in the boneyards. And Doomsday is played by Em, who'll now describe her character.
I am Doomsday, flex one arm. I had all the puppies. I am a buff Shoanti half orc, and am currently not feeling great.
Oh, you're not feeling anything at the moment.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling great, and then I felt nothing, and then I'm here. So yay!
And you can see a line snaking on as far as you can see into the distance, which you know is the line of people walking up to Pharasma asking for judgment.
Interesting.
Well,
okay.
Not particularly asking, more being told what their judgment is.
Right. So, wait, okay, so I'm in the line for Pharasma. Wait, would I even know that? Am I smart enough to know that?
Well, it's something every person is told, that upon death they are judged for their actions in life by Pharasma.
Right, okay, so I would know kind of what's happening.
Unless, of course, you manage to achieve a mighty deed by your god.
No, I have not yet, because I haven't even achieved my goals in life, so I don't think in the eyes of my god I would have achieved great things.
Which does mean that you are heading towards a place other than the god you believe in, because they haven't claimed you.
Oh, that's sad. I'm like, Gorm, I tried to serve you well.
Okay, as you think that, you find yourself sort of looking off to the side, and there you see a very heavily armored warrior with glowing red eyes and a sword saying, "You have failed."
I have failed. Well, given where I am, I can kind of guess that, but do tell.
So, from a perspective of, if I can get the camera to look at it, there we go. There is what the person looks like. There we go. I think I've got it straight. Okay, so as basically pointed out to you that you have failed to win a renowned victory.
Well, I certainly tried to endeavour to, live my best life, and have tried to succeed in my goals and my eventual goal of defeating the Sandpoint Devil. But as many know, that is a very high, a very mighty task for a Shoanti or Orc warrior to do. So I don't think I have failed so much as not had the opportunity to reach my achievements quite yet.
What do you call death in battle without glory?
Well, depending on how I died, do I know how I died?
Yes, you had your back turned to the opponent.
Yes, I had my back turned to my opponent, but for a good reason. I was trying to save my animal companion, which, you know, in light of all we've been through, I personally feel is more important than, you know, would then face my opponent once, you know, my companion is safe. Or knowing that my companion would be safe.
Did your act save your companion?
No, I believe I got shot down before that, but the intention was...
So you did not succeed on the reason you died? You failed again?
I was not trying to fail, but I had already had quite a day, and my day was, you know, filled with, you know, trying to succeed in battle.
There is no try, you succeed or you die.
Well, apparently I died.
But you weren't in battle at the time.
Though I did not wish to die. I wish to live on and get said glory that you speak of me failing. But you know, I guess I am in the line of yonder.
As you look up, you see now serving number 1552. And you look at your number has 12 digits.
I guess I will be speaking with you here for a while unless you know, I can come up with a good reason, though I think a good reason enough would be to try and achieve this glory that I've failed to achieve so far.
So you seek glory in battle?
I try to.
You're willing to die for your cause?
Well, I have died, so...
But not for your cause?
Not for my cause.
You have died for a pet, a companion, a loved one.
That's arguably a cause.
says my conscience. Yes, I would die for my cause, as well as dying for family. I believe that is both an honor.
He does not believe in dying for anything but battle.
Well, dying in battle is...
Battle is the cause, he says.
Well, battle is the true cause. But...
You are currently speaking to the god of battle.
Is that Gorm, or is that...
That is Gorm, yes.
It is Gorm. By Gorm. I had to put that in there. I will endeavour to, if I get the opportunity, endeavour to die for the greater cause of my achievements in battle with the Sandpoint Devil.
You said, so be it. You have 1 year and a day to achieve that outcome.
Okay.
Or spend your time in the service of the devil thereafter.
Ooh, okay. I'm sure the devil would be happy with that.
I'm sure the devil would.
Okay.
Try not to die from your curse.
What curse?
And then you sort of wake up in lots of pain, with a puppy jumping up on you and down on your chest, trying to get you up.
Oh god! Oh god! Ow! My everything! Ow! Ow! Puppy, settle down! Ow! Ow! Ow!
The puppy's giving you CPR.
Yep. I've seen huskies do it. They love doing it.
Oh yeah.
And you're sure your puppy's going by Gorm? So yes, at this point I will get Jeremy to introduce himself and his character.
Well, good evening all. I'm playing Cordar, the elven, half-human would-be hero of Sandpoint. I'm sure he'd eventually take on the devil of Sandpoint, but that's apparently someone else's question now. But yes, one who grew up hearing of the legends of the Pathfinder Society and the myths that they created, and dreams of one day being amongst that number. But so far his experience in the Pathfinder has slightly dulled his images thereof. Apparently never meet the heroes.
Yes, that can be an unfortunate thing when you meet people who don't live up to expectation.
So instead, his modified goal is to ensure the Pathfinder legends are worthy of those legends.
Standing over Doomsday is also Parry. So
G'day, I'm Josh. I play Parry Hodder, the buffest wizard known to man. Maybe reckless at times, but always is willing to get into the fight.
Suicidal.
Parry has a death wish.
Parry still has an arrow sticking out of his chest.
Yeah, Parry will fix that in a minute. Cool. So yeah, Parry should be shooting things from a distance, however, always wants to be on the front lines shooting at them.
Okay, and then we have Willie staring down at this man that used to be a wolf, must be a werewolf, that's part of the party.
Greetings. I am playing Lord Willie One Kenobi. Curiously looking down at this once wolf person and considering who the hell they are and what the hell are they doing in my location.
Especially considering you've had dreams of them for so long now.
Yeah, I'm not mentioning that.
The GM is
I'm not Parry.
Come on, you love my fantasy,
And while you're staring down at these two lying on the ground beside you, this person lying on the ground with a puppy bouncing up and down on his chest, trying to resuscitate him. Luckily, we missed the part where Puppy was doing mouth to mouth. But I'm sure no one else attempted it once Puppy started. And then you hear the sounds of staggered footsteps coming from deeper into the complex.
Certainly, as soon as the combat had apparently finished, Cordar was immediately heading towards the other side of that elemental's room's entrance, where the Night Heralds had apparently come from, to take up a position where we can actually see whether there's anyone else coming through. And while he quietly tried to patch himself up a little bit, while presumably others tried to patch up those that needed more immediate assistance.
So as you're in that direction, you can hear the sound of shuffling feet and stumbling.
I'm going to follow Tin Man, and as I leave, looking down at the wolf man, I just kind of shake my head and move off.
Any idea of the numbers of footsteps we might hear?
That would be a perception roll.
Perception of 16.
Okay, you think you're hearing at least 2 sets of feet, unless of course they're stealthy, there could be more. You could just be hearing the worst two of the group.
And they're definitely coming through from the area where the Night Heralds have just come out of.
They are, yes.
And so, who actually in the party is technically still upright right now?
You have Willie, the infamous practitioner of the martial arts style of low blow. You have Parry, the buffest and shiniest wizard around. You have Poppy, who is continuing to bounce on Dooz's chest. And I believe that Luna and Quest and Belloth are currently not visible, investigating the sarcophagus room and the item you've been sent for.
Okay. Or so I was hoping Belloth's case is actually at least dealing with what wounded he can, and or the unfortunate. Certainly, Corda left. Dudes were thinking that that was too late, but Bella, get over here, see what you can do.
He had actually pronounced Doozar dead, so you realise that Doozar has risen from the dead, and Doozar's eyes are now a fiery orange.
So I worked on the idea that I'd moved away from Doozar before I actually saw that interaction, because of the idea, okay, well, because I saw the blow that. Bella's sister got in as he tried to go past.
Yep. So for someone who had their spines sticking out of their back, getting struck in the back really was another low blow.
Yeah, so while I was I stood over the body, but then I think someone else actually hit the body again, didn't they, from Bay Burberry?
Yes, she struck the body while it was down, bringing it to almost dead. In the look at me as I kill your companion in front of you without you being able to do anything about it sort of look.
Yeah. So he would have actually basically, when she went down and the others were currently down, Corda would have immediately said, "Yep, Bella, get over here, see what you can do," but he would have been heading over the doorway. He's now hearing footsteps. He'll look back to see who might be ready, try and give us indications that, hey, we've still got company coming, which he'll pass on to the monk as the person who apparently closest right now. But.
Okay, so coming into view, you see Sparky holding up a torch, being sort of dragged forward by a unknown little gnome who you then twig. Oh, that's the gnome from the other Pathfinder group, Kroll.
Okay, so again, one that we recognised from our previous time in
and Sparky was part of your group.
Sparky was part of the group, that's right, but okay. The fact that we recognise the other one from time in the Pathfinder headquarters type stuff means that I don't necessarily need to assume that Sparky has been captured, and so are they apparently alone?
They might be the last ones bringing up the rear of the Night Heralds, because they seem to have been travelling in the same general footsteps of them.
Yeah, but presumably, certainly last time we knew Sparky, she wasn't accurate with the Night Herald, so.
I'll get Mark to introduce Sparky.
Sure.
Hi, I'm Sparky. That's my nickname. I'm a little dwarf female who loves going in dungeons and made a promise to Corda's grandmother that I had to look after him, and I wanted to find out where he was, and I had to find him. So I've kind of gone. I've been kind of given a message going. I said, "You're supposed to look after Corda." Oh shit, sorry. And that's where I've kind of come at the rear end.
And Sparky looks as if Sparky's gone through a meat grinder.
I just look at Corda and go, "You're a very hard person to find."
Especially considering you didn't even know he was here.
I'm not sure how Martin wants to do it based on Corda's grandma, but...
But you had taken a job with the Night Heralds as their trap finder.
I would have done that, yeah.
Assigned to them in secret, working from the Pathfinder Societies to find out what they knew. And Kroll went with you as the person to try to keep you alive when you fall into the traps, which you did many times.
That sounds like Sparky. I'm wonderful at doing traps. I love traps. I love to, look at them, trigger them, jump on top of them.
You're good at finding traps.
I'm good at finding traps.
And now the explosions and sounds of traps going off that the party heard last session now make sense.
Yeah. So, and slowly with the help of Kroll, I slowly hobble over Kroll in support of me just over to Cordar. Go, you're okay. Okay. But I got a message from your grandma saying you're in trouble, that I didn't know where you were, and at least I feel a bit better now. I promised her, remember? I did promise her I'll look after you.
How did you end up here?
Well, I...
Left turn at Albuquerque, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, you guys went... I don't know where you guys went. And I woke up one morning and everyone was gone. And I needed some money, and I decided to do a bit of a job on the side. And I met this lovely Noni person, and I tapped Kroll on top of his head, actually. His.
I'm sure he'll stab you later.
I'm sure. And I thought, this will be some good one. Then I got a message from your grandma. Then I had to go check on you, and I'm going, okay. And kind of, coincidence happened, and I'm here. So, yeah.
Were you following the Night Herald, or working with the Night Herald, or?
It was a thing for the society. I had to do some information gathering kind of thing.
You were infiltrating the Night Herald?
Yes, you know how good I am infiltrating things. I do with a big smile on my face. But can I sit down for a bit? I went through.
Is there anyone else with you? Is there, are there any others than Night Herald left?
You remember another cleric, a wizard, necromancer, a superb archer, and a really annoying Sister of Balath swordswoman.
There was a few others.
They sort of went on ahead when Kroll was pulling you out of the last trap.
Yeah, they were in front of us for a bit, and then don't know what happened.
Yes. Before we met them.
Oh, okay. Because I was getting, I started to play jump on trap, Sparky, and Kroll pulled me out. But yeah, look, can I sit down? Kroll, can you just help me sit down a bit? I just need some rest. I've had a bit of jetting. I've got like. You can see a little blood coming through the leather armour kind of thing, so I'm not feeling...
Well, it's certainly not that Sparky's like a notice, but it's certainly not like Cordar's in good health either at the present time. So, from Cordar's knowledge, when we were at the Pathfinder capital, starts with A, kind of my head.
Absalom,
yes. They come with Aramanth. What do I know of Kroll?
Kroll was the healer of the other group, who was currently who was busy when you guys set out. Otherwise, you assumed he would have gone with you. But apparently, he was dealing with family.
Okay. Yes. In that case, then, hey. As long as you're not actually working for those who preceded you, it's good to see you here, Kroll and Sparky. Yeah. Head over there. Kroll, your services may well be used. Maybe you need to.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while, but I've been kept busy. Sparky, why don't you try and sit in this chair here? Because the last time you tried to sit down, you decided to try and sit in a spike trap. So
that's a good point there, Kroll. And I kind of just almost try to sit in the chair. I do get sussy about the chair still, because I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll sit on it. I'll look around for a second.
As you go to sit down, the chair gets up and moves. and barks at you.
Which is possibly the better option considering what else was in the room. You could have been sitting down, because in the room at the moment, you're in a large circular room with a number of bodies, a bit of an altar thing in the middle of the room, and a series of elemental effects lined up that, hey, if you had to sat down on one of them, could have been interesting as well.
He could have been a bright Sparky.
No, not a bright Sparky. It's the other way around now.
We know he's not a bright Sparky.
Well, I'll just sit down for a bit. When I feel a bit better, I can help people out with some healing if they need be. But I need to sit down for a bit, please. And I just almost not collapse, but kind of just got to sit down. So.
And Cordar will be asking Kroll and to a lesser extent Sparky, saying, so, is there anyone else coming from that direction?
No one else made it this far.
I think we were the last two, I believe. So, except for the people in front of us, but I don't know what happened to them. Have I noticed bodies in this, like their bodies in this place at the moment?
There's signs of battle, but no bodies.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, looks like you guys have had some fun.
There's no bodies in the room?
You look around and you notice there's still a bit faint wisps of what you saw when Baleth's sister disappeared around the other areas where the other three had fallen.
Oh, okay, yes, I've forgotten about the idea of them disappearing, yes. So.
Can I say, I thought Belath was bad, Corda, but Bella's sister is worse, so much worse. Just sort of let you know.
She actually threw you into two of the traps just to see what would happen.
Like Bella, he does for fun. She's just vicious, kind of thing. So, and I just want to put it out there. I said, and you know my view on Bella. I'm just saying, but hey. Anyway, I'm going to lay down for a bit. I'll catch up with everyone a bit in a second. Just hang on a second.
Okay, well, so Cordar is happy to accept, particularly Kroll's interpretation of what's no longer coming in the direction of the labyrinth, and we'll start encouraging the others to at least gather again in the slightly more secure area of the sarcophagus room.
And again, none of the animal companions will move into that area.
Okay, in which case they will probably. They move. They won't move into the room with the
mummies.
The seats on the walls where the mummies were, would they?
That is correct.
Okay.
The only one that was in there was tossed in there as bait.
Yeah. So. Well, I guess in that case, then we'll basically set up.
Was that when Giant got tossed in?
Yep, that was why Giant was in there. He was thrown in there as bait to try to lure you out of the room.
Right. Well, that didn't work. I didn't do it.
No, it did. They took you down.
You out. Killed you.
True. Well, it sort of worked. Sort of not. But anyway, that's regardless of the fact.
Mm-hmm.
So, it would have worked a lot better for them if Corda hadn't have paid off their ranger.
Has Giant had the arrow taken out and re-healed yet?
No, it's been healed in, and he's moving rather awkwardly because of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up to Kroll, and I'm gonna, slap him on the back and just be like, "Good to see you again, my friend. I need your help."
Yes, I can see that. That looks like a bit of an issue.
Yeah, we have been sorely missing you.
So Corda will go back to the sarcophagus room where apparently some of the others might have still been collecting the books and things like that, putting them into the pit that Corda had left for them.
They are currently doing that because, well, hey, they think that just the object is not as meaningful as the object and the instructions for the object.
Yeah.
And because they don't know which one is the instruction book for the object, they're taking all of them.
Well, I think that whoever was interested in books said that there was lots of good ones here anyway. So.
Well, you're looking at about 34 books, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So 30 small books and 4 large books.
Yeah, that's right. There's plenty of room in the pit.
And was it the paladin who got the we didn't have a paladin in this group. Someone picked up the bejeweled scimitar.
Yes.
Do we have time for an hour?
So you broke up a bit there, Stefan?
Do we have time for field surgery on Doozer?
Yeah, certainly there's seemingly we're doing clean-up after the major battle right now.
Yes, I can do battle medicine too, maybe.
Well, you've probably got 10 minutes to actually do proper medicine, and which is what certainly some people need it, because, as I said, I don't think there's many people in the party that are not walking wounded.
And battle medicine only works once a day on a target.
And Phil doesn't do it well.
Yeah, you're better off just using the normal 10-minute treat wound.
Yeah, okay. We're not in combat at the moment, so definitely.
After a minute, about 5 minutes, I kind of okay, feel a bit better. Feel like I can do something, and I'll help. Sorry, go.
Oh no, I was going to ask Moss. Does apart from Duda doesn't know about his eyes yet, but apart from that, is there any am I healed or am I still wounded or?
You can still feel your bit of your spine sticking out of your back, but it's not impairing your movement.
Okay.
You still have this gap in your spine where the blade came in. You can actually stick your finger and feel the top and the bottom of your spine with a hole in between.
Oh, sweet. I pat Kroll on the back again and say, yeah, I think you have your work cut out for you this time.
Well, considering the bits that they cut out of you.
I'll just shake my head and just kind of motion to the eyes, apart from the fact that I'm obviously playing with medicinal eye drops or something.
well, the eyes actually give out an inner glow of flame.
Oh.
Dude is like, what about my eyes?
And you can almost see Doozer start to look as if Doozer's getting ready for battle.
Yeah, so it's certainly something that, when Cordo's going back and realising that, hang on, Doozer's moving again, he would have said, that's impressive work, fella, well done.
And Kroll also notices, having been warned by Bella's sister, that both Doozer and Corda have been afflicted with mummy rot.
Oh, shit, okay.
It is beyond your skill to heal, because you need to remove the curse first.
Yeah. I will inform them that they have this curse, and that I can't actually do anything until it's removed by a higher spell, basically, to remove the curse.
Yeah. Certainly felt that there was something not right from those creatures that we met here originally. So.
I kind of go through my backpack and I'll look at Kroll and I'll pull out a little bottle and I say, this, I don't know if this helps at all, but you seem like a healer type, you might know more about it. So it's a potion of cure wounds. I'm not sure if that helps at all with any sort of additional stuff, so I'm just going to leave it to you to decide whether it's any helpful or not with these two people. So I've got 2 of those in my backpack if they help, but if they don't help, I'll just hang on to them.
So, keep it to yourself, knowing how often you sit on spike traps, you'll probably need it, Starkey.
Okay, cool. That's all right. I just thought I'll try to help.
I'll... 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 I'll reach into my bag of, I think it's Holstein, whatever it is, and pull out the bandolier, which has 8 health potions on it.
Something you prepared earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kind of like, wow, okay. Well,
Yes, I'm prepared.
That's okay, yeah. Noting that he hasn't used any on you despite all the traps you've been going through.
it's been noted internally.
And I'll put that bandolier away, and, yeah.
That's the emergency rations.
It is.
I was going to ask you, man, how much health do I have at the moment?
At the moment, you have 10% of your health.
That's fine. I have 5 points.
Okay.
Cool.
Are we going to be doing individual rolls for healing, or like a blanket roll? What's the...
Well, at this stage, you're not sure exactly what's happening, and you'll end up having to spend lots of time tending people, but this is the first time you've had a break in 3 days for your character.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, okay, so to give you a bit of an idea of what you've walked into, as I said, there was a large circular room that apparently was effectively had an entry system to open up these large double doors that led to another large room which had, we described the fact that there were mummies, in fact there was lots of bodies on the wall, and some of them came to movement, didn't they?
Some of them did. They are moving around the wall still.
So the other body's actually moving, or?
The body's still floating in the air.
Oh yeah, we've got the body floating in the air, but I thought there was actually more than 4 bodies against the wall, like around the wall, so it was just the 4 mummies.
There was about 10 odd, and then 4 of them got up.
Right, yeah. So there's a room that has a number of dead bodies standing around the room. Another body being hung from the ceiling. And on the walls are a whole heap of gibberish runes that are changing. That was the one we realised that was counting, wasn't it?
It is, and it is the runes of ancient Assyrian.
Yeah.
Or older, hard to tell because it does predate most things you know.
Yeah. And then there's a small door off that room where some of the characters in there loading books into a portable hole, along with the hopefully they're not paying too much attention, or they're somewhat ignoring the ancient skeletal corpse that was seated at a table, holding a large gem.
They did take the accoutrements off that corpse.
That's right, yes.
They have already looted the corpse. They did that last session.
Yeah. And as I said, then a lot of walking wounded around amongst us at the present time, or not so walking wounded. Now, I think that someone mentioned something about the body that's hanging from the ceiling. Someone said that
less hanging, floating from the ceiling because it's not actually attached to anything.
I was about to say, it's been magically held from the ceiling, and someone mentioned that magic was starting to fail, didn't they?
Yes, but it was cast a long time ago.
And so we were deliberately aiming to not get too close to it on the idea of we didn't want to actually activate and bring in another enemy before we were ready.
So Spark is confused why you guys are here still, because no one's told her. So I will go up to...
Well, certainly Corda will be asking as to how you got here, and why you were travelling with the Night Heralds.
Yeah, I was asked to do infiltration with them, apart from Lady Highmarsh.
And what do you know of the mission that they were on?
Martin that might fill the gaps here. I don't know much about the mission they want.
They were seeking the same thing you were seeking, a magical gemstone that was counting down.
I just mentioned they're after this gemstone that does some counting thing. And that's all.
Yeah, the countdown clock.
Yeah, and that's all I got. And
And you were the disposable trap picker that they had brought along for the run.
Yeah.
They didn't need to actually tell much about exactly what they were on to, and besides, it's not like Sparky actually remember anyway.
Yeah. Would have Lady Almost told me that's she wanted to make sure to get some information in case they find it or something like that? Or?
They didn't know what they were doing. They sent you along to find out and sent Kroll along to keep you alive.
Okay, that's fair enough. Cool. So I relay that information on the Corder and anyone else who wants to listen.
Okay, yeah. So it appears that you paid as much attention as normal in that sort of when you were given that information. So Corder will fill in additional blanks, i.e. the fact that the Pathfinder Society had been effectively, or we've been effectively provided to
The Esoteric Order of Palatine.
That's right, yes, the Esoteric Order of blah 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 blah.
As Gordo was paying attention just as well as Sparky normally does.
Well, no, Gordo would know the name, but it was one of those very long names of esoteric. The Esoteric Order of ancient blah blah various bits and pieces. That I've got the notes down somewhere, but haven't.
That's okay. I can rattle it off. It's the Esoteric Order of the Palatine Eye.
There you go. Which because the in fact, actually, no, Sparky wouldn't remember the book that we found when we looked for the Star of Desna because she wasn't there at that point.
Because that was the point where Pinwinkle did his ritual to cleanse for Rasmus Temple and did jazz hands instead.
Yeah, that's right. So
yeah. Let's
that
one up.
So the sort of thing that yes, Cordo will explain that yes, we got involved because we found a book that led them to that provided hints that it might be at this location, and so we were asked to try and recover the item. We were warned that the organisation known as the Night Heralds would potentially be in opposition to our quest, and this is why it was concerning or disconcerting to find you in a company of the Night Heralds. So I'm glad to hear that you were not working with them in line with their purposes.
Well, you know me well enough. I thought, God, I wouldn't do something like that, would I? But I'm not like that Pinwinkle guy you keep talking about. I'm completely different. You should know that.
Yeah, Pinwinkle would have been leading. He wouldn't have been working with them.
Right. Yes, that's right. And Corda is privately thinking, yes, he knows you very well, Sparky, and yep, he knows that, yep, you wouldn't necessarily be working for them understanding what they were going for, but okay, yeah, so I'm expecting that we will take at least half an hour, 2 hours or whatever to try and patch up people as best we can. Whilst we also take a look around and ensure that we get all bits and pieces from the sarcophagus room and the now that things are not happening, or we've got a bit of time to breathe, potentially take another investigation of the corpse that's floating in the room.
Okay. So,
do you want rolls for people to, like, for medicine type stuff, to see if people can get back up to at least what their current full health might be?
We can, and see how they go. Because I do have the hit point totals of everyone in front of me.
Yep. Because yes. Well, opportunity for the medics to do their work.
I can use with the rot that I've been told about by Kroll. Is it worth healing at all? Or still?
The rot.
Yeah.
you're actually told by your employer that if you got mummy rot, they would stop healing you when you fell into traps.
Okay. So Cordar and who's it? Yeah. I probably won't heal them, but anyone else needs healing, I will heal them.
So you're going to get in between what Kroll was going to do and what Balath had been doing, because some of them can't actually take healing at the moment, having already had some healing in the meantime. Because you're immune to the being healed from 1 hour after having been healed.
Okay, I'll do whatever I can in between those two people if they don't think so. I'll be back up if that makes sense.
Okay, so most of you have to wait at least an hour before you can be healed.
Okay.
Based on the 10 minutes that I think you had about half an hour of healing done by Balath before the puppies arrived. And unlike battle medicine, when someone else has done a healing roll on you, you're immune to the healing roll for another hour.
Yeah. Okay, and that's fine too. Like, okay, if there's not the opportunity to do the healing, that's cool. But we're certainly.
It's just reminding the players that the healing rules are rather harsh in Pathfinder 2 compared to other games.
Yeah. No, that's right. I'd forgotten about the. I knew battle medicine had 24 hours. I've forgotten medicine had the 1 hour. So, but actually, again, I'm thinking that we potentially don't have to. As far as we're aware, we've got no immediate need to move on in the next couple hours. Yes, some of us have somewhat of a timeline, but certainly Cordar's not aware of how short the timeline might be for Mummy White.
Given that we have an hour, Doozer will probably explain to, and Parry would probably find this very interesting, my experience in the afterlife.
You get a wow from discuss it with the spark. Just goes wow.
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 Wow. And I explained basically that because at least our party members would know that I had the quest to hunt the Sandpoint Devil from my chief in my village, and I wasn't welcome back until I killed said Sandpoint Devil. But I now have a year and a day to achieve my task in the name of Gorm, and I, by Gorm, probably involuntarily.
Which is also where Flex One Arm comes from.
Yes, convenient. And probably not any different to what Doozer normally does, so it probably doesn't look out of place at all, but when I say for all, it sort of just happens.
Martin?
Yep.
Unlike the other party members, I don't think I've been healed yet.
I believe that you were healed fully in the last session you were in. And your character just... you did not actually take any...
prior session.
I had a look at the damage on your character, and they healed you at the start of the last session, and you had no existing damage from that point onwards.
Yeah, because I think you were NPCing in the mummy room.
Ah, okay.
After being healed, I think you got battle medicine as well.
But okay, so well, to me the real, like from a player perspective, as far as I understand, the only real unexamined stuff or stuff that we can still look at more carefully. So I'm assuming that we've taken a closer look at the sarcophagus room, see when I was collecting books and everything. No, that we didn't find any more secret doors or chests or anything like that when they were going around the room.
It looked like most of the place was still unfinished.
Yeah. So I think that the only thing we haven't necessarily investigated is the body floating in the air, and or otherwise we get out of here. Cordar's happy that he's happy to let floating bodies lie, as long as it's not attacking us. But he's also thinking that, if we spend a couple hours preparing to get back outside again, then I don't know whether other people will ignore a floating body for a few hours.
My sparky intrigue, I'm watching it. I want to like poke it with a stick, but I don't find a stick around. So I'm just intrigued by it.
Well, you can poke it with a stick while no one's watching.
And how high up in the air is it?
It is 10 foot up, which means any stick you have only has to reach 4 feet.
Yeah, but I'm a dwarf, not a shorter than that. So.
Yes, but a dwarf with your hands over its head would quite easily reach 6 feet. So 4 feet for something 10 feet up is a 4-foot stick.
While we're having this rest time, I'll ask Corda, what is the deal with the floating body? Does he know anything about it at all?
It's not attacking us.
You mean you don't say that's for a party member that failed us previously?
Alright, Cordar's response is, it's not attacking us.
But
it hasn't woken up.
Is it asleep? Do we know? Or was it just in, like, has anyone tried to, I just want to say it out loud, poke it? I'm just curious why it's like, I don't know, look, I haven't been here for the previous battle, so I'm just,
And you hear from one of the other rooms saying, no, Pinwickle's not here to try to poke it like he pokes everything.
Bella, is that voice? Okay, no, I was just wondering, that's all, because that's something you would want to make sure. Yeah, okay, well, if you say you leave it, I'll leave it, but it's suspicious.
No. Corda did not say leave it, he just said it's not attacking us.
Martin?
Yep.
I sort of that arrow hanging out of my chest, don't I?
You do.
Can I make a medicine check to see if I can pull this out gently?
Well, you could, but the head would come out with a lot of pain because the wound was closed over it.
Yeah, but can I make a medicine check to make sure it's not anything vital, like it's not pulsing with my heartbeat, so if I rip it out, I'm going to die instantly?
Not that you think of, considering when it came in the same spot, it didn't kill you instantly.
Okay. I'm going to pull it out.
Okay. So...
do 2 hands on the arrow and I'm going to pull.
Doozer would offer to help if he wasn't feeling like shit.
Yeah, Doozer is currently on 1 hit point.
Yeah.
So, Parry takes 2 hit points damage pulling out the arrow.
Ow.
Leaving Parry on 7.
20 hit points. 20. Parry gets worried when he's unconscious.
He actually got taken to unconscious last session.
I know!
We're actually enjoying the blessed silence.
Kroll has heard stories of just trying to get the name right. So, of the elementalist known as Tula Seft from his family.
Okay, just certainly, yeah. Corda, as part of the explanation, will say that, yeah, that's what we were apparently in the tomb of this elementalist that went bad and stepped away from his elementalism to the study of the what was the word they used? Darkness beyond or something?
That was what we used.
Between. But, yeah. And yeah, so certainly if Kroll had been equally ignorant as to the Night Herald Commission, or they had less knowledge, then Corder and others would be happy to fill him in on any bits and pieces that are important there. So, I'm guessing you could possibly also, like, Mark, you were wondering whether Sparky was going to poke the floating body.
Is Sparky would like to do a perception check on the body for looking for anything that might be interested taking off the body?
Sure. Give me a perception check.
It's not a 1, it's a good start of the day. 16.
So a 16. Yes, it's got a nice shiny mask. You sure it's worth a bit?
Because, hey, to be fair, it's probably likely that Luna will have poked it a bit.
Yes, but Luna may have learnt the lesson from the last time Luna poked something.
Seems unlikely.
I'm just looking at my backpack and what I've got to possibly grappling hook across that mask would work. Thinking.
You could just ask one of the tall people to reach out.
Who's Bella? Okay, I'll ask. Willie, I presume Willie's tall.
Willie is tall, as is Doozer.
Doozer looks a bit banged up at the moment. Willie looks a little bit better.
Willie looks on top of the world.
Hey, I'm Sparky. I heard your name is Willie. And
you also heard that he is part of the Hell Knights and a well-respected member of their order.
Oh, did somebody say that already? Or do I know that?
That's one of the rumors you've heard about him.
Oh, hey, see that mask up on that person floating in the air? Do you reckon you could reach it to take it off?
I look at it. Could I reach it?
Yep.
I say, sure, I could do that.
But I feel the butt's coming here, really.
There's always a but.
No. Yeah. Oh. I've thought that might be able to. It might be valuable to take back to maybe sell and share with the party. I don't know. What's your thought?
What is it on?
It's on the floating body in the air. It's on a person.
It's covering their person's face.
Yes, but I don't know who this person is because I don't think anyone's confirmed what the person is yet.
Uh-huh. I look around. Does anyone have a big stick, like a spear or a staff?
Balaf does have a flaming staff, and I believe someone else picked up a staff as well.
Yeah, I've got the fiery staff. I think it is. Oh, the fiery staff from last session.
Actually, I've got a torch. Would that allow me to reach?
So you want to put your torch alight and light the body while it's floating?
No, not really. I prefer to do it unlit. But if I can use the torch to I sort of say get ready to catch it.
Yep.
I try to flick it off the body.
I'll use my acrobatics to catch it on. So.
Sure, we will give our monk a thievery check.
Ooh, something I'm good at. Okay. That is a 29.
Okay, you tap it off the face, and so is Sparky standing below to catch it?
I am, yeah.
Okay, as he taps it off the face, the body falls on Sparky.
Can I dodge out of the way now?
Unfortunately, you weren't ready for it, so give me a reflex saving throw.
Yeah, you in catch the mask, not the whole body.
23.
23. Okay, you dodge out of the way as you hear the mask shatter on the floor because you dodged out of the way.
Okay. Well, it was worth a try.
I look and go, I thought I said catch it.
Yeah, the body was falling on me at the same time. I didn't want to, death by body drops is not a good thing.
I look at the body. Like, does it look particularly heavy? Is it wearing full plate armor? Is there some reason why it might be a little bit more deadly than others?
The body is currently got its eyes open, blinking at you, stretching.
Oh, I step back. I go, good plan. Good job. Yep. I move back.
I moved back too, by the way.
And as I move back, I call out, Tin Man, we have a problem.
As you see the guy go from prone to standing without bending any limbs.
Shit.
His hair's all wavy and in the air. So, let's see if I can get... So you see a guy with hair almost as if it's been blowing in the wind.
Okay.
Exactly, Bob. That's exactly what he goes. Babu Rabu! I've been asleep for thousands of years. I forgot what words are.
Waggle, 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 waggle.
Whereas Cordar saying, what the? Yeah. And then remembers, oh, that's right, Sparky was back, wasn't she?
And he looks at you and says something in what appears to be ancient Orisian. Does any of you know Orisian?
I don't believe any of us do.
Nope, I sure don't.
Did Kroll learn ancient Orisian?
Does Parry see what's going on?
Parry hears what's going on.
Parry looks.
Doozer kind of groans because she really cannot deal with this shit right now.
No
So
one.
does everybody else.
No one.
Why did you guys touch the mummy? Why?
Yeah.
You mean a mummy? Why do you think it's a mummy?
The mystical floating being.
Oh, so the mystical floating thing. Why did anyone touch anything?
Yeah. Why do we touch things? I thought when we walked in, we said we weren't going to try and touch that. And yet we've touched that.
He calls out again in a strange language. This one sounds rather musical. Does anyone know Orin?
Orin. No.
Orin? No, I don't think so.
But, okay, so Cordark actually stepped forward in front of any others. Does the creature have
Does the creature have what, Jeremy?
any weapons?
He does not, but he does hold his hands up defensively as you move to the front.
Okay, like, I'm not actually. I'm assuming the others moved back away. I'm not actually aiming to get within. Well, I'll be about 10 feet away from him or something like that. So therefore, I could lunge forward if I needed to. But yeah. So it's not appearing threatening at the moment. He's just talking in multiple different gobbledygook. Is that right?
Very much so. He seems to be asking demanding questions with the tone.
Has Balak demonstrated comprehend languages amongst his? Or has
I believe Luna has.
Luna has? I was just thinking Luna, yeah.
I'm not sure if she has a slot left, but I'll say she gives it to Corda.
Oh, I think cast comprehend language on Corda.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that allow me to actually speak the language or just understand them? In Pathfinder 2.
That I will have to have a quick look at. Because I believe it is always different in the games.
So it's different ones and at different levels. And also, with the spell that you've got, whether it be the equivalent of the tongues or the common languages or whatever the variations are.
I think it also depends on the level of the spell too. Oh.
Yeah.
On level 2 spell. Divinity.
Okay, so comprehend language. So you can understand the meaning of a single language in its hearing or reading when you cast a spell. It doesn't let it understand codes, languages couched in metaphor, and the like. You can hear multiple languages and know that it can choose which language to understand. Otherwise, choose one randomly. If it was heightened to 3rd level, you can also speak the language.
Right. So.
I will say it was heightened to 3rd level just for convenience sake.
Can you do that? I don't know if the spell costs. Okay, so. Either I start understanding what he's saying, or I can start responding, or my responses might become intelligible to him, but basically I say, who are you and how did you get here?
He says, I am called Marbar. You may not have met a Janni before. We are of the genie kind. And he even sounds arrogant when he says it.
There.
Wait, we're talking with Robin Williams?
Apparently.
Have you got your wish sorted out?
Do I have any knowledge of Janni? And or I will be telling the party what he's told me, if they don't understand it, presumably. Does anyone in the party recognise that I'm Janni, and are they something that would normally be trusted? So I'll also see if he actually speaks. Like, presumably we were talking to him before the spell cast, and he didn't. Nothing said in common that he understood or anything like that?
He understood nothing in common.
Yeah, okay. So,
Would
Yeah.
Pathfinder Law be able to help me with this one, Arnold?
Sure.
Yeah. I got a 10, but I didn't say help, so.
yeah. Cool, I got 21 on Pathfinder Law.
On Pathfinder lore, you know that Janni are elemental creatures from the plane of air.
Right.
And they speak Orin as their main language.
Right. Janni. Do I know what does the knowledge indicate whether they're generally trustworthy, or are they generally devious, or they
That would be an Arcana or Nature check.
well, 20 on Arcana, or 20 on Nature Train.
Now let's see, what does the General Janni do?
Because Arcana's untrained, except it's got the Pathfinder adept.
It's okay, just trying to find it in the book because my references aren't all fantastic. Getting there,
Yeah.
but not all there.
Could be just a hugging genie, you don't know. I'm going with that option.
Sorry, what was that, Mark?
Hugging genie.
Okay, so you want the genie to hug you?
No, I'm just saying that I'll shut up now.
I can do that. With a few other things on top.
Yeah, it's the other bits I'm worried about.
Okay, so what you remember from your studies of creatures in the Pathfinder library. They are humanoid elemental beings who are more at home on the primal plane than on the elemental plane, and they are one of the lesser genies.
Okay.
And they generally have no particular alignment, just based on how you treat them. So if you treat them poorly, you'll be treated poorly in return.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Janni, elementals. How long have you been here?
He says, I came in this place yesterday.
How did you end up trapped on the ceiling?
Tulaseft turned on me and imprisoned me.
This is Tulasef's tomb where he's been dead for centuries.
No, this was yesterday. I remember it vividly. I was awake, and then he captured me with his magic, and the next thing I know, I've hit the ground because you are in this room here. So it can't have been that long.
Quick, someone find the poor man a newspaper.
What was the...
Yeah, where's the latest in the
I will show him the decay within the room and the damage and things like that. Or like I pointed out to him, hey, does this look like yesterday's work?
He looks at it. I am not familiar with this room. Whatever has been done to it has been excavated since he remembered seeing it.
But obviously, such excavations couldn't have happened yesterday.
So I'll give you a month may have passed. He says, looking around. Tulasef could have done this in days.
Well, and so if Tulasef imprisoned you, why did he imprison you?
He was trying to steal my power over the elements. He'd been studying something from between the stars. They think it drove him mad with dark insight.
Well, you'll be pleased to know, since he imprisoned you, and was trying to steal your power, that Tulasef has in fact been dead for centuries. You can find the remains of his mouldering corpse just in the neighbouring room.
He looked saddened. While he did imprison me, he was once my friend.
You were working with him?
I was, as he travelled the plains. And I helped him build this tomb before he turned on me.
And why did he turn on you? What did you do?
All I know was he had started studying the dark places between the stars. And when you start looking at the old ones, very few people are right afterwards.
Can you read these runes on the walls?
He looks at them and says, they are not in a language that I have studied. It's not any of the languages Tulasef used in when he was my friend.
Well, if you were a contemporary of Tulasef, we have friends who are definitely interested in speaking with you. There is nothing holding you here, is there anymore? in this facility?
He looks at the body in the secret area. He says, "That is not my friend. My friend was gone before he turned on me. Before that person turned on me," he says.
We have friends who have been very interested in Tulaseth's work. I cannot claim to be one of those experts myself. It may seem strange to you, but yes, we certainly, from our perspective, Tulaseth is a icon of history that his experimentations and liberations are of interest to current times. If your knowledge and understanding of the time would be very interesting for many people.
Yes, well, I can assist, he says. I'd be happy to learn more about this world, but considering you say time has passed, and you do all indeed look strange. Especially that he pauses and looks at the wizard. Dwarf? Elf? He says, looking puzzled.
Don't ask. Just don't. Do the elf. Don't ask. Don't ask.
I explained the long heritage of the Hotter family.
No, because Cordar does not bother with translating that kind of statement.
Juicer says, you asked.
Cordar was actually saying, yes. Times have changed.
So Perry, I'm not understanding a word that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Won't do that, obviously.
No, but someone stared at you, so therefore you're going to launch into a tirade about who you are.
Oh yeah, I point to me and I go, and then I start speaking Elven and Dwarvish, like going between the two.
You mentioned that Tulaseth started studying between the stars.
He says, yes, he does not know what's there, other than there are things that dwell there that can infect the mind and transform the soul. And he lost his friend to whatever creature he contacted there.
Do you know anything of the countdown clock that he found?
That would have been after he had imprisoned him.
Yeah, as a player, I was pretty confident that was the case, but I thought I'd make it from the character perspective. Well, I'm not certain that we'll be able to.
He says, but that mirror in the room of the sarcophagus is a link to the entity that he was contacting.
Oh, is that why Perry thought someone was staring at him? Make it.
So it could be destroyed?
If you can, he says. It is more magic than material. It's beyond his skill to destroy.
Perhaps we'll just leave it for the time being, and maybe others can come back and investigate it further. So,
Though he does recommend covering the mirror so whatever's in there cannot look out.
Well, okay. Cornell was just determining, hang on, how well could he create a landfall within this location to actually mean that, yep, they can investigate it after they dig it out again. But yes, certainly we will cover the mirror. Cornell will pull out some canvas from his bag. And,
okay.
Cover it over, or blanket or whatever.
Okay, so you managed to not only cover it but turn it around and face it to the wall.
Good.
And you see that Baleth, after examining the orb for quite a while, has picked it up and had no side effects occur.
The orb, you said?
with the shifting runes in it.
Oh, yeah,
the
the
countdown
countdown
clock.
clock.
And then he
Remember
puts
that?
it. Then he puts it in your bag of holding, which means
Yeah.
you know it's not an artifact.
But also, okay, so I had thought the countdown clock would have been collected, so happy with that. But...
Everyone had decided not to touch that,
right, okay.
and he wanted to study it before he touched it to make sure there were no other effects.
Yeah, happy with that. So, the Corda goes to look at the how many dwarves have got in the party? Is it just Sparky?
Sparky is the only full dwarf in the party. Yes.
I'm the only full dwarf.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Harry talks about being a dwarf. And he's clearly not, even if he was, I'd still be concerned. Corda was basically thinking about options of, okay, is there ways
Harry-
of collapsing the... Sorry, on.
Harry's gone to about the third generation of his family at this stage, and it's getting overly complex.
And the fact that he's the child of people who have been reincarnated into different bodies.
That's what I say. Well, the idea of Corda was looking for a dwarf that might know about manners of collapsing this room, or at least one of the leading rooms to it, without actually collapsing the internal room. But it's not like you trust Sparky's dwarfishness to actually know that sort of stuff either.
So I'll give you guys a chance to update Mark on what's been happening. I believe Stefan's dropped off for the moment. And I will be back in a little bit.
All good.
I'm going to marvel in the many crossed lines in Parry's family history, where not only is, say, cousin XYZ a brother to Z, but also the mother of Y, which is also the parent of X. And
I'm making it generally clear.
No, your genealogy has like triangles and like this person
circles
is
and hexagons. Okay, let's don't talk about the hexagons.
I was thinking pentagrams, but okay.
One big pentagram.
You, Jeremy, I don't have any knowledge in any stone cutting because it's a thing I can pick up. Yes.
That's right. As I said, Corda would trust Sparky's knowledge.
I didn't expect I don't expect to just trust them.
I think no one knows stone masonry unless but Stefan's dropped off, so.
Well, I also don't think we've got the actual appropriate things to try and collapse it anyway, so...
Juice could probably brute force it if he wasn't on 1 hit point.
Although it also occurs to me that if the mirror could be turned around on the wall, it might be worth just actually taking the mirror.
I mean, sure, but presumably magic mirrors can't go through Pathfinder portals.
But so I would agree that it's unlikely that it'll fit in there, but okay, certainly if the mirror can come off the wall, then it's probably something that Corda would suggest. Well, we can probably put it in the pit with put a lot of shelves in the pit with the other stuff.
I mean, if Susan was feeling better, he would help with that, but he's not feeling great, so maybe tomorrow. Maybe he's up and maybe tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow we should be well away from here.
Tomorrow we should be well away from here. Well then, in that case, it's not happening.
Okay, we'll just wait for Martin to get back and confirm whether it is something that's feasible in that sort of sense, but...
Yeah, I mean, I could probably do a strength check, but I'm pretty sure I'm still enfeebled, and I've still got... Yeah, I'm still enfeebled, and I'm still confused, and I've got bones sticking out of my back. I'm pretty sure I'm not lifting anything right now.
Hey, come on. You are going to break the land speed record with the bones get out of your back, so...
Oh, okay. I do have a thing called terrain experience where I can work out terrain as my background. I could
So basically, so I can just do a survival check and do a +2 to it and see if I can determine that's what you're after.
Yeah, oh, no, actually, as a player, it was something I was thinking about, but I can charge up there feasible anyway, so.
That's cool.
It was more the idea of the, because he was thinking, oh yes, well, we'll let the others know, let the esoteric order of the Obscurian Eye, or whatever it is, know about the mirror. But if we can take the mirror with us, hey, it saves them coming back for it. So.
Just while Martin's away and going slightly off game, just because it's cute, Mia is currently tossing not only my dice bag, but Josh's dice bag, my character notebook and dice tray in and out of her playpen. So she's like putting them in her playpen all nice and neat, and then deciding to destroy it. Yes. Like toss them back out like all willy-nilly, and then put them all back into a neat pile, and then toss them all willy-nilly again. And she's been doing that for the last 20 minutes.
Yep.
And it's very cute. The fact that she puts it all the way back into, like, she puts it on the plate on the playmat, and then like puts them all on the pile, and then just throws them. And once she's got them in a neat pile, it's just hilarious. But just thought give you the cute visual while we wait for Martin to get back.
Okay, the friends of mine, so do a medieval group thing, and sometimes go there and I do juggling stuff there, and yes, I've had a situation where some of the young kids will carefully gather up all the juggling balls, put them in a pile, and then scatter them away, and then run around, gather them all up again, put them in a pile.
Yeah, that's kind of what she's doing with our dice bags and my dice tray. Just because we were using them, we had them up on the couch, and she was like trying to reach to them and starting to get agitated because she couldn't get them. And then as soon as we gave them to her, she's like run off, like just to the other end of the lounge room. It's a small lounge room, but still, like just run off over towards her playpen and is just like been having a ball just doing that.
It's nice when they find things to entertain themselves, but are destructive.
Yes.
Oh. So apologies, but I'm back.
All good.
Something that occurred to me, Martin, if you suggested that we could take the mirror off the wall and turn it around.
Yep.
Covering it. If the mirror can come off the wall, then Cordo will actually aim to wrap it in the canvas and place it on one of the shelves in his portable hole.
Okay. So I'm going to say it fits into the portable hole.
Yep, okay.
Because it's not an artifact.
Cool. And the basically then, if there's nothing further keeping us here, I guess if we've had an hour, then people can run through a medicine, do another medicine type stuff for another hour before we aim to head back out the way we came, to try and get moving before some of us die of mummy rot.
That sounds like a good plan. And Stefan has just rejoined us.
I live.
Perfect timing.
You live.
We just told the character to jump down a hole. That's okay.
Okay, well that's fair. I'll just use my backup character then.
That's okay. The hole has books and a portal to a elder god.
Oh, that could be fun.
Along with sundry other stuff that we've collected over time.
Yeah.
And unlike one of the other groups, there's not a pile of dead bodies in here that they were trying to save.
Right.
So yeah. Are we happy to then spend another hour for the healers to do healing on people that need it, and then move out after about those 2 hours have passed?
Yeah, I think we could do that, and then we can probably get out after that, I think. That'd be plenty enough to keep people going. So.
Yeah.
You are. The Janni named Marbar taps you on the shoulder and talks at you again. Unfortunately, your spell has worn off by this stage.
Yeah, but so what's the kind of thing I said to him, like we were talking about the idea of coming back. I was saying to him, "Yep, well, I said I've got people who will want to meet you and talk with you that can talk with you more readily. Unfortunately, we probably won't be able to communicate much, and for the next few days. So, but yes, I'm happy to try and interpret his hand signals."
Okay, so he seems to talk at Poppy, and Poppy seems to understand him.
Wait, sorry. My puppy?
Yep.
What?
Puppy with a genie. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good.
And Poppy seems to like the genie a lot.
Okay, considering you didn't want to come into this room to begin with.
Well, but Marnie's come out by this point to be able to talk to him, so.
Oh, right, okay.
Because like I say, we've been hanging around for another, probably at least an hour after he's been woken up.
So while that's happening, you can give people healing rolls because Parry, Luna, Dooza, Korda, and Sparky all have pretty low health.
And Korda's is wounded 1. Has, we'll discuss what in way, Martin. Has Dooza actually got any conditions on her still?
Yes, still has mummy rot.
Yeah, but none of the enfeebled or things like that they had before they died.
None of the enfeebled before they died, but still has the bone sticking out and the hole in the spine where the sword thrust had gone. I don't think it was axe thrust had gone.
I would like to be properly taken care of, probably at a medical facility.
Hey, magic tends to, bypass these sort of things like healing and just making things work again.
Yeah, I mean, I know that works, and it's worked in the past, but this is a bit more serious than a broken arm.
Okay, so between Balath and sorry, I've lost
Kroll and
Kroll, yes.
Luna and Sparky, who all have some degree of healing.
Yeah, but okay. From Kordar's perspective, between Balath and what he understands of Kroll, the others are emergency healers.
So Kroll was the one the Pathfinders called in whenever they needed a healer in general.
Yeah. Is Kroll happy to do medicine on the how many walking wounded do we have? 1, 2.
Can we just do medicine previously?
You have faded out right there, and you had not had a chance to do medicine beforehand because I was reminding Jeremy that everyone had a medicine check within the last hour, and you can't do a medicine heal on someone who has had a medicine heal in the last hour.
So basically, we've been sitting around an hour, sorting out through other bits and pieces in time for then, okay, yeah, now you can really set your ward up. So.
And you might need to speak towards the mic as well.
Can you hear me?
Yep, hear you perfectly fine now. You don't sound like you're driving away in the distance and left the mic behind.
So is these just medicine rolls, right? They're not actually spells you need right now?
They are medicine rolls. You still haven't got your spells back. You use them all up, keeping Sparky alive.
Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, sure. Kroll has a plus 11 to medicine, and I'll probably go for the DC. I can't remember what page it's on, but I think it's the DC 20 check, which gives you plus 10 to the healing and 2d8 healing, I think.
Yeah, so you're expert healer, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeremy, would you like to do the roll for him? Otherwise, the red dice will come out.
Don't trust my healing style. I'm going to give it
So am I rolling for you?
If you want.
Okay. 14 on the first attempt, so that makes a total of 25.
Which means he succeeds.
Yep. And what was it? 2d8 plus?
2d8 plus 10.
And I believe this has been done on the Buffest Wizard Demand.
Okay. Total of 17.
So
7 of us.
that means that Parry should be on 24 now. And then up to Luna.
Harry's never felt so alive. Can't wait.
Luna got a 12 on the die, so that will make it 23. And a total of 20 points back.
So Luna, I believe, is on full, or at least 38. If 38 is not full.
Yeah.
Now we're up to Duzar and the weird back.
Duzar, 13 on the die, so that'll make it 24. But only 16 points back.
So Duzar's up to 17.
And obviously that removes any other conditions. I don't know, there was only the wind two recall we did here, right? Who's next? Corda?
Next up is Corda.
Another 13. For a total of... Oh, hey, you do well on Corda, okay? 15, 25.
So you do 5 more than you need, so he's now on 43.
I think he's got a maximum of 37 at the moment.
I thought you had a maximum. Maximum of 37. Yeah. So max. Normally it caps at 43, but you're down 17.
Yeah.
So that means 27, doesn't it? Or is you?
The notes I've got is his normal maximum is 54, but he's down by 17 from his maximum, giving him a current maximum of 37.
Okay, 37.
And he also gets rid of the wounded one condition.
He does get rid of the wounded one condition with that roll.
Any more wounded? Any more damage?
Sparky.
Sparky? Sorry, Mark. I know this is going to happen. I knew this was going to happen.
Natural one.
There was a 5 on the die, so that's only 16.
Not a critical failure, so you just can't heal him.
Obviously, he'd already done as much work as he possibly could for Sparky over the last several days.
Yeah.
There's only so much things duct tape can fix.
That's right.
Okay, I just sigh, but I just look at Paul with a really, I don't know what to say. But I'll survive.
So while all you're doing this, you do see that the Janni seems to be having a conversation with Poppy.
Okay. So that's all the immediate walking wounded.
That's all the immediate walking wounded.
Okay. So. Well. Corda is certainly interested in the fact that Janni can talk to the puppy. But I'm guessing others might be more interested initially.
Well, I was wondering if Duzar has the ability to speak to his own puppy. But Duzar may be unfortunately spaced out at the moment with a running and busy little Mia running around.
Certainly Corda will be keen to... Sorry. We'll keen to do a bit of charades with Marnie to see if he's actually getting effective communication there. Probably much more effective than we can do with charades. But otherwise...
Well, he's probably getting the lowdown from the puppy on the rest of the party.
Fair enough too. Happy with that. So,
especially how the rest of the party left him out to die in the flames.
Martin, we also need to create Mia a character now. She knows how to roll the big red dice.
Does she get higher rolls than everyone else?
Yes.
Well, Josh rolled three times in a row.
Yes.
And she's placed it down and gotten back.
Can Duke actually talk to his puppy?
Sorry?
Can Duke actually can communicate with his puppy?
No, Duza does not have speak with animal.
Okay.
So
But apparently, Marty does. So
apparently, a stranger gets more out of your puppy than you do.
Well, I mean, I get puppy jumping on my chest trying to do CPR, so you know that makes Duza happy.
And you got these nice paw prints on your chest to remind you.
Yeah.
Roll 13.
Cordar's suggesting that, well, there's nothing more we can do right now, I don't think. Let's get moving.
That's a 20. Mia rolled her first 20.
If your dice doesn't flash anymore.
No, my dice battery's dead.
I don't think you can get them anymore.
I think you can, and you can also get ones that are rechargeable. And you can get ones that can connect to computers, so you can actually have the dice come up on computer.
Yeah.
But it's not through ThinkGeek anymore, is it? Because
No.
ThinkGeek doesn't exist anymore, I don't think.
It does not, but you can buy it through Zing, who took over ThinkGeek's a line of products.
Yeah, right, that makes sense.
Okay, so yes, you are
This battery, but
you are able to head off, and as you're getting ready to head off, the Janni gestures Cordar over.
Cordar's certainly happy to attempt to understand what he's got to show or say.
Give me, let me see, give me a perception roll to see if you understand what he's trying to say.
14, 21.
Okay, he seems to be gesturing you to sit in front of him.
So I say, couldn't you have done this beforehand, before the gas was about to leave? Jeez. But yes, he will do so.
Okay, and he seems to be casting a spell on you.
Cordar will remain alert, but not actually stop it yet.
And ending the spell, he seems to blow in your direction, and you feel your skin tingle. Is anyone else watching what's happening?
I'm watching what's happening. Sparky is.
So Sparky can make a medicine check.
I was about to say, Parry's also doing it too. So.
Parry can make an Arcana check.
An Arcana check.
Natural
Well, roll
20,
for me quick.
28.
Oh, roll.
Great.
Toss.
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 Come on, bub. Before Daddy does it, we got a different dice. But this one-
So to remind you, Mark, you with a natural 20 in Pathfinder, that makes it 28 upgraded.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't
Yep.
you?
But the Pathfinder doesn't use natural 20 or natural ones anymore.
It's crit success or crit failure, isn't it?
It's basically upgraded. So if a 28 was going to be a crit failure, it would become a failure. If it was going to be a failure, it would become a success. If it was going to be success, that's why it's the number upgraded.
Yeah, right.
Parry also got a 28 on Arcana.
Okay, but yours wasn't upgraded.
No, it wasn't upgraded.
It was upgraded?
No, it was not.
Was not, okay.
Mia rolled a 16 for me.
Okay, so from Parry's perspective, he seems to be casting a remove curse on Cordar.
Oh.
And from the perspective of Sparky, seems to be blowing the curse out of Cordar.
Oh, that's good.
And from the perspective of Cordar, I'm guessing he's feeling better.
You're feeling tingly.
Tingly, I can. The skin, the parts of the body that were dead and dying, it actually got some life back into it again.
The genie has given you some get better juice.
I feel better.
Oh, sorry, did I say get better juice?
Whoops.
Yeah.
And you see he seems to have used up a supply of dust he had to do so.
Okay, so from Cornar's perspective, it'll be tingly. Thank you.
He nods. He nods in your direction, points at Poppy, and then disappears.
Right.
Well, what?
I guess he decided not to come back to talk to people that wanted to talk to him. Do we any indications of where he's gone?
There was a rush of fresh air as he disappeared. You could do an Arcana check to try to figure that out.
Okay. Talking to, look around at some of the others more experts in the field of Arcana, like Ballas and Co.
Alright, here we go again.
Yeah, as an elemental being, did he just go back to home?
Parry rolled a 31.
You believe he just plane shifted back to his home plane after saying something about the puppy.
He said something about the puppy and then went proof back home. Back to his plane.
Yeah.
Good roll, Bob. Nice 3.
Well, I guess that saves trying to conduct charades for the next few days while we're heading back to civilization.
Because I know that our half-orc has got you're up 2, I believe. I was just wondering why the half-orc didn't get the foot out of it. Anyway. Oh, that's intriguing. That's true. I'm just thinking this is my head. Sparky's thinking, puppy looked after. Doomsday? Oh, okay, I couldn't work it out. I'm not.
Well, I was going to say, or possibly Puppy knows better. Knows it's not really Doomsday.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, I knew he was going to get that angle. Anyway.
Poke.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would look at everyone going, are we right to go now?
Don't give the removed curse to my owner who abandoned me and let me almost die, and then I had to save their ass.
Hey, people did point out that the pets had been left outside.
I didn't leave the pets outside though.
Yeah, everyone's got pushed in.
Yeah, I got deliberately pushed in. So why he's healing the person that deliberately left him out?
Well, to be fair, Cordar didn't deliberately leave them out. He just didn't actually consider them.
Well, yeah, so that's deliberately leaving him out.
Absolutely. Yes, but anyway, let's get moving.
Okay, so you know the quick way out.
Doozer is a little sad that Puppy, whatever Puppy was saying to the genie, clearly
too far.
Clearly wasn't, I don't know. Well, either that or that's like Puppy's sign of I forgive the person who left me out because he knows my owner. Hopefully knows that I wouldn't ever leave him out like that.
Before Puppy just definitely knows that you're not a Doozer.
I would like to think that I am still Doozer at heart, and that by telling the genie to heal you, being the person who left him outside, be it or not. That he means he forgives you because he is just that good.
Or possibly, Puppy said that, yep, Mummy's attacked. There are a few of them got Mummy what, and it didn't necessarily state which one was which. Then Mana chose to heal the person he'd been talking to as opposed to others.
It could be any.
Had one remove curse available. So,
And we will never know.
I will never know, yeah.
well, until you decide to talk to Puppy.
Until one day that Doozer actually gains magic, which I don't think he has.
Right, yeah, so we will, well, having spoken to, God damn it, I can never remember, what's Stefan's character's name?
Kroll.
Oh, yes, Kroll. Having been speaking to Kroll and Sparky, we'll confirm that the way that we came in was certainly a lot faster way out. Is that correct?
It was a 3-day trap-infested dungeon that resets itself after you get past it. So it's another 3 days through a trap-infested dungeon with less support.
But we still got Sparky who acts as the trap finder.
And each day, Doozer has to make a saving throw versus death or turn to dust.
Wait, we don't have access to our way in?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, we will go our way because it's certainly faster. I was more just confirming the other way would take longer.
Yeah, right.
And if you say that we're going to go back to the place or the way I went, I would have looked at you and go, no, we're going the other way.
Except for the fact that your horse is stationed at the front of the establishment.
My horse?
The horses that you came in on across the desert.
Oh. Crap. Oh well, doesn't matter.
So, that might be interesting with the idea of actually gathering the extra equipment and things like that I have also left behind. But we have got spare camels in our entourage anyway, so assuming they're still there. So, and if nothing else, it's the way that we know. So we will go back out past the rooms that were with the 2 elemental effects.
Mm-hmm. There are no traps on the way out.
Yep. Avoid all that stuff and get back out to the exit or the main exit way.
So in about 3 minutes, you get to the point where I'd probably say in about 10 minutes, you get to the point where Doozer had run to. In that time, Doozer ran away.
Yep.
Takes you a whole 10 minutes to get back there.
Yep. Well, we're not trying to run full speed, so. And head down the slope of the mountain. Avoid the quicksand. Climb down the cliff face. Not necessarily in this order. This is the order that I think about. Remembering some of the things that we came across on the way up.
So first up is the Manticore battle with the cliff face that you have to climb down.
Exactly. So you can climb down the cliff face. Go down the mountain a bit further. Walk along the riverbank. So what time of day is it actually when we come out of the mountain?
It is night.
Okay. We will probably aim to get to the riverbank as a convenient campsite. Well, in fact, did we end up we're probably about the spot where we left the camels, I'm guessing.
The camels aren't there.
Okay, not surprising.
Well, you did have a group of gnolls head that direction after
I realise that, so that's why I certainly wasn't surprised. But but yeah, so we'll probably aim to get to the riverbank area or something as a convenient campsite, confirming that the gnolls have not camped again in the same location on the other side of the riverbank.
Well, you do see that they have stripped the Manticore of all usable meat and various other parts. And when you get close to the river, you see at their former campsite, they've set up there with a bonfire and are currently cooking the meat from the Manticore.
Okay. Now, we technically left the gnolls in somewhat friendly circumstances, did we not?
You did. You told them you killed the beast that had terrorized them.
And therefore they were able to get back away and return to their comrades that we didn't say that we killed. Well, I'm guessing that considering where we are right now and the fact that we wouldn't necessarily be able to go on much further, it's confirming what the current reception from the gnolls is at this stage. So, who's our main talk with the gnolls?
That was Beleth.
What's Beleth, yeah.
Josh and I will be back in a minute. Just getting Mia ready for bed because she's getting tired.
All good. So, Beleth seems to be struggling to talk right now, so he pushes Cordar forward.
Because Cordar is well known for his interactions with humanoid races.
How could he do it worse?
Well, so it's the balance which is actually pushing forward to do it. So, because I mean, I suspect that yes, someone like even Harry would be more likely to be stepping forward, but again, he's also otherwise engaged. But okay, we'll come forward then, and the river is actually being good reason. It's quite shallow and easy to cross, wasn't it?
It was quite shallow and easy to cross, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, as we get down there, Corner will call out across the river and say, greetings, I see you got down the mountain successfully.
Okay, so you hear Gnollish voices raised in alarm before the head guy comes out and calms them before approaching the riverbank. He goes, greetings, strangers. We thank you for saving us from the Manticore.
And so what are your plans from here?
Well, this is their tribal region, so they'll most likely remain here.
Would you mind some company for the evening? We shall head off in the morning.
It says you're welcome to stay, and they are willing to give you your camels in thanks, because well, if you didn't show up, they were going to feed the gnolls for quite a while.
That was the next question I was going to ask, was whether or not I could see the camels around. And yep, okay. Certainly convenient. If they're happy to they recognise that the camels were ours and they're going to give them back, even better.
Well, while he is a gnoll, he is not evil.
Yeah. But, actually, Corda has certain expectations about some of the humanoid races. Not so much gnolls. Goblins are the ones that really untrustworthy, but...
Luckily, the one you have is more of a pixie than a goblin as far as you're concerned.
And then, certainly, Corda would not recommend that the entire party sleep all at once, that we still definitely maintain a watch for the evening, and not necessarily end up sleeping right in the middle of the gnoll encampment, but off to one edge, because he certainly doesn't entirely trust them, but it's certainly a more convenient place to stay right now, I would think.
Well, they're willing to give you a slightly damaged tent to rest in.
Yep. So I can't imagine how it got damaged.
Could I heal myself before we go to bed, just to make sure I don't look like a meal?
You can try.
Okay, I'll give it a go myself. That's a 24 on just a normal one.
Mm-hmm. Well, unless you call otherwise, it's always normal.
Yep, sorry. Yep. So that will be 2d8. 5 points of healing, so doubled.
You feel so much better with the fresh duct tape.
Yep. And I do. If I do that, I'll just look over to Kroll and look at see how you do it, like a kind of a look of like red see. Yeah.
So you've gone from hardly any scars to a body completely full of scars.
That's it, right. Look, I just want to make sure I don't look like a meal. That's all. Or a sugary meal. So that's all I want to do, man.
All good.
Well, does Dooza survive the night or survive the morning?
We shall find out in the morning because Dooza gets to make a Constitution saving throw.
Of course, as far as I'm aware, none of us, while we know she's got mummy right, none of us know that she's actually going to waste away potentially before we get back. So. Does Corda gain any healing overnight? Like, does he still got a maximum of 17 at the moment?
No, with the removal of the curse, that can now be healed. So
Okay.
each character also regains, I believe it's their level in healing.
I'll check it up while we're letting you hear, but that's cool.
If you can look up the basic healing, that would be great. Because it doesn't heal very much.
No, it doesn't heal huge amounts, but it is getting some. So you people do feel a little bit better in the morning normally. Otherwise, I don't know if anyone in the party wants to actually enjoy the knowledge hospitality to their potential full extent, or how much hospitality that it can provide.
Well, only one of them can speak common, which makes it hard.
Yep.
If I was at full health, I would say yes, but no, I'm sort of shocked that you've dealt with these people, so I'm a bit standoffish. So I'm just going to go heal myself up a little bit, go to bed, try and make sure there's people being between me and the Knolls, so I'm okay. No, we don't get any overnight healing as such, because it's the long-term rest is spending an entire day and night resting during downtime to recover hit points.
Yep, that's right, there's no hit point gaining from travel.
Yeah. You so only the fact that people could do medicine effectively each night or before you go to bed at night type stuff. So, which would seem likely that there'd be an attempt to actually effectively rebandage wounds and things like that before people go to bed.
I think someone would have attempted it on Dooza beforehand, probably at least Kroll, knowing that if Dooza fails the saving throw in the morning, when he wakes up, then he could potentially die.
Well, certainly I would think that if that was known as the side effect, then I would suggest that Kroll would have done a medicine check to see if he could actually cure some hit points.
Is Kroll happy with that?
Yeah, I would definitely like to try and heal if possible.
16, so that's a total of 27, so not a critical success, but he does get 20 points back for Dooza.
So if Dooza fails the check, at least Dooza won't die on 4d6.
Yeah, but so if that was 20 points, can she actually be healed anymore at the moment? What's her maximum?
Her maximum, I believe, is 52.
And she's currently on?
37.
37. If Corda is informed that, hey, the curse that's upon her will potentially mean that she will waste away and that it's important to try and maintain her as healthy as possible, he would suggest it's potentially worth doing some magical healing as well. I don't know if we've got any actual spells left in the party at the end of this day. but it might well be worth using a potion to give some more backup.
You could have someone tend to overnight with more heal rolls while they're resting.
Oh yeah, because healing can be done as a long-term thing, that's right, yes.
Because every hour you can make another check.
True.
Especially if Dooza's on first watch.
We're suggesting the fact that whilst of the evening, effectively, Cole will do the heal on Dukra, and I don't know whether he'll sort of do medicine or any other, but still not quite actually at max. But if Dukra and or Belath and or Sparky and Luna take it in turns, then Dukra can be on maximum before the end of the night, hopefully.
Right.
On the idea of basically, because again, well, from Cornar's suggestion that we definitely want to have someone on watch, there's no reason why that person can't be ensuring and doing tending of wounds and things like that during that time. Especially we have a couple people on watch.
Okay, so we'll assume that you spent time getting Dooza up to full. So that I believe, because your normal maximum is 60, is that right, Em?
That's correct.
But yeah, current maximum is 52.
That's correct.
So, Dooza gets to make a fortitude saving throw.
Is there anything that the medics can be doing to give her any advantages on that saving throw?
I don't think so, because this is a minor item for sure.
Yeah. I reckon so. As a player, I didn't necessarily expect so. Character certainly has no idea, but...
So, if they spent 8 hours caring for a diseased creature, they can give a bonus to the person making the saving throw. But that's someone using their treat disease check.
Yeah.
Does Kroll wish to treat Dooza's disease overnight?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have your dice handy, Stefan, or do you need Jeremy to roll for you?
Can Jeremy roll?
13 again on the dice, so that gets a total of 24.
Which
DC, it's the disease of DC, so don't know whether that's good enough.
So Dooza gets a +2 bonus to the next saving throw. It was good enough.
What did you say it was? Fortitude?
It is fortitude saving throw.
My... +2, was it?
Yeah, well, +2 on whatever you normally.
$27.
So on a 27, you don't lose any health to the disease that day.
That's good.
Well, we will bid farewell to the Knolls. Gordar will offer them some additional rations to help ensure that they can recover their standing before they actually have to hunt a great deal more.
They politely decline with pointing at the meat that they've recovered from the Manticore, saying that will feed most of the tribe for the next month or two.
Well, we thank you for the hospitality there. And yeah, I can't think of anything else that's particularly useful to palm off on them that we don't really, that I don't want to keep hold of. So
He says, may your skies be clear and your path be visible.
And unto you, and that the game be plentiful.
He nods in your direction and gestures to the other gnolls to start packing up their camp.
And obviously we will pack the camels and aim to get moving back across the desert.
Mm-hmm.
After we've avoided the quicksand.
Luckily, you know what it looks like.
Yep. We can spot the lightning sand now. There's a popping sound before each one. We can avoid that. Oh, that's the flameworks. Sorry.
But that is the fire sands, isn't it?
Well, it was the 3 dangers of the fire swamp was the flame spurks, the lightning sand, and the RAUSs, who obviously don't really exist.
Okay, so it takes you another 4 days to get across the desert. Does Kroll do the treat disease each night?
Yes, please.
Is it something that Belath and or others can assist with the thing? Like, can they provide a bonus to Kroll's roll to the disease each night?
Only if they're trained in medicine.
Well, I'm sure Belath is. But okay, we'll treat it as we're going through it anyway. Cool.
And
so
they also have to have healer's tools. So if someone says, I'm using medicine without healer's tools, they can't.
Yeah, okay. I would like to think that almost everyone in the party should have healer's tools by now, because it's not like they couldn't go and buy the tools they need. But I'll assume at the moment you'll just get to straight plus 11, rather than having everyone staying up all night getting in each other's way.
Yep.
On the first night, it could only total of 17, unfortunately.
So no bonus to Doozer in the first night. So Doozer gets to make a fortitude saving throw based on his normal roll. Okay, so you get through the first night without any issues. Second night.
We also assume, Martin, that after a couple of days of travel, everyone else is healed back to full.
I'm happy to say that.
On the second night, Kroll gets 18 for a total of 29 on the die.
So that's still just a +2.
Just +2? Yeah. M?
19.
Okay, so on night number 2, Doozer loses 13 hit points.
Oof.
And that's from her maximum, I'm assuming.
That is from her maximum.
Because I'm assuming that we could easily get that, maintain that at maximum.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, the maximum will keep going down. I'm also, based on the distance we're going to travel, Martin, is it worth us trying to do an extra couple hours every day or things like that? Is that going to make a difference to the sunrises that we have to face?
It does.
Was that +2, Martin, for tonight? Because I didn't add the +2 to that.
I believe there was a +2 for tonight, and it still would have failed.
Oh, okay. So 21 would have failed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Doozer's maximum is now 39.
Because obviously, yes, we will be aiming to push the travel times every day, if that can make a difference to getting back to civilization. So.
Okay, so I'm happy for someone to make a survival check to see if they can do so.
Okay. Well, assuming no one else is volunteering immediately, Cordar's happy to be looking at survival. Would a flat 16 actually do the job, Martin?
You do not know.
Okay.
I mean, Dooza's happy to make those rolls. He's just not feeling great.
Does Dooza trust his life on someone else's roll?
No.
Or do you trust parries?
No, I really don't. Sorry, what's a survival roll?
They're just a survival roll. So we shall see how well Dooza gets back to civilization based on Dooza's survival roll.
There's my survival. 18?
18.
Yeah.
It's wisdom based.
It's wisdom based, yeah.
Parry's got better survival than you. Why did you trust him?
Because I don't trust parry.
Because he's parried.
Exactly, yeah, that's fair.
Well, Spark is the same thing with the rest.
So you spend night 4 out in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the argument is we could be able to spend at least the 8 hours every 24-hour period
Yep.
to actually dedicate to keeping Dooku alive. So the idea of any pushing of timing is not actually going to be aiming to push Dooku's endurance to make it difficult for her.
Okay.
Or him, I should say.
So, on the third night since the Knolls, you get to
Okay.
make another check to see if you can provide bonuses to the disease check.
Unfortunately, got a 15 on this one.
No success on this time.
Something down.
So then Dooza gets to make another fortitude save with no bonus this time.
I got a 30.
You got a 30?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you managed to get through that night with no loss.
And the fourth and final night, I'm guessing?
And it ends up being a fourth and final night as you're stopping seeing the civilization probably about 3 hours away by the time you stop. Would have been an extra day if you hadn't have put in some extra effort.
Yeah. Wait, did I put in an extra effort because I rolled on my survival check? Or...
No, in the sense that we were doing extra travel every day to try and get back to civilization faster.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Like a
That
full
makes
mark, they call
that
it.
makes more sense. Yep.
So-
So I roll a full night.
We see if Kroll provides plenty of support again.
Unfortunately, a total of 13 on the day. 13 on the roll check.
Okay,
Roll
with a,
two.
with a 13 on the check, Dooza actually gets a -2 to their roll.
Oh.
Sorry,
How?
Like 13, really?
I got 2.
Yeah, but doesn't the medicine add to that as well?
That was a medicine.
Yeah, plus 11, yeah.
Yeah, so,
That-
yeah, that's why the total was 13.
Oh, the total is 13. Oh.
Like I said, I rolled a 2.
At least I rolled high twice. 28.
28. Okay, you managed to get through this night where Kroll accidentally accelerated the toxin as far as he knew.
Oh wait, so it would be 20 -2. Sorry, 26. But I think that's all passes.
Still a success.
Obviously, Kroll was getting tired with having the continuous late nights, and so.
So Kroll was getting about 4 hours sleep a night.
And most of that was and some vague dozing while sitting on a camel, which is not very comfortable.
And you find yourself reaching civilization.
Or at least returning back to the town where we came across the
So you
Yeah.
return to Calmarine.
Cameroon, yep, okay. And that's where we met up with the Obsidian Eye, wasn't it? No,
The Order of the
Order of
Palatine
the-
Eye.
Palatine, I guess.
And you're met by Lady Vord, who met with you earlier.
So, and she's the one that was reading the book, wasn't she?
She wasn't the one reading the book. She was the one contacted by the person reading the book.
Yeah.
Because
okay,
this is the region she works in.
Yeah. we shall come in and see her and explain what we found and what we've recovered, or was she just a contact before we go back? Because this one was looking for the clockwork countdown clock, or
it was this one. She's higher up in the order than the one who was doing the transcribing.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
And was she the one that I did the work for as well, or was it different?
No, you never met this person.
This is yeah. You were delegated through the Pathfinder Society to infiltrate the Night Heralds. We shall aim to get in to see Gora and explain to her what's happened, but most importantly, we shall state that, hey, do you have the ability to remove the curse from our friend who came across the mummies protecting the tomb? Fell afoul of the mummies protecting the tomb.
She says, I can, but it might end up being part of your reward. It's not cheap to remove curses, she says.
That is perfectly understandable. However, possibly you may be interested in some of these other bits, as we discussed, that we found while we were in there. Basically, yeah, so we'll pull out all the books, the clockwork, countdown clock.
She says, while you set this up, she'll go about getting the supplies she needs to remove the curse. She'll probably be about 2 or 3 hours, she says.
That's all good. So we can certainly rest and recuperate and dine out on the lovely ice-cold fruit juices.
Mm-hmm. They do have nice ice juice here, as well as iced tea and hot coffee.
After 4 days of walking through the desert, I'm reckon an ice juice would be very nice.
Okay, so when she comes back, she says, "Do you have any more information about what happened while you were there? A verbal account?"
Gordo is certainly happy to explain everything that we learned. Talk about the layout of the tomb, the puzzles and the entryways that we needed, the runes that were seen on the walls, that apparently are the same ones that were in the countdown clock. But obviously, the ones who didn't understand the presence of the mummies, the discovery of Marbo, and his understanding that he worked for him, but apparently he returned to his home plane rather than come back here, and our interactions with the Night Heralds, and the fact that after they were killed, apparently all of their bodies and their equipment all got whisked away to other locations. So,
well, it sort of sounds as if you came across Libar, Motek, and Randwick, local mercenaries.
Are they likely to have a nearby base that we might, if they were taken somewhere in particular?
They go wherever their boss takes them.
Okay, right. So,
and she heard that a champion had recruited them.
Right. So, and so when so the names that she gave, I'm guessing, not Miss Silvertongue, and that then Miss Silvertongue might be champion.
You believe Miss Silvertongue was the champion?
Yeah.
She does describe the champion as having a great axe.
A great axe. Mm-hmm.
Which Duza remembers rather painfully in the back.
Yes. Ouch.
Do you mention the Janni talking to the puppy?
I mean, if Koda left it out, then sure, because he seems to continually neglect my puppy, and this is starting to become a point of irritation for Doozer.
Well, Duke may or may not have noticed, but to be fair, he ignores most of the animals in the party, if he all possible.
It's caused some conflict in the past. So he tries to avoid the conflict of dealing with the animals.
Yeah, well, he's now made a not so friend of Doozer over his latest actions of ignoring party members, aka party puppies.
Okay, so after he does this, she pulls out a scroll and casts a remove curse on Doozer.
Yes.
And then cast a speak with animal on your puppy.
Or on herself.
Well, allowing her to speak to puppy.
Yeah.
She has a fairly long conversation with Poppy.
It was something I think about after the party, does Fluffy speak elemental languages anyway? Someone speaks elemental, I expect, but...
Fluffy speaks Infernal.
Yes.
Well, understands Infernal, doesn't speak it.
Right.
As does the two birds.
Yeah.
So
not ones that Marbar could have spoken to, even if they wanted to.
They could. I think they could have understood with telepathy, but I don't think they wanted to understand.
Well, admittedly, it's sort of in the if Marbar had been paying more attention or interest in Fluffy, that would have been somewhat of a negative note from Cornell's perspective.
And she's Miss
I'd be interested to know what Puppy had said.
Lady Vord says the Janni, known as Marbar, had left instructions with your canine friend Sylvia to tell me the name of the Janni and how to call him in need to pay thanks for freeing him from the tomb.
Ah.
Six back did a good thing today.
And did he say
Shelley
about why the genie heals the other guy over, say, his owner?
Yeah, she asked Sylvia that, and Sylvia said that it was because Sylvia believed that you would survive better than Cordar in the desert.
Fair enough. I accept that.
Sort of thinks as Cordar has been rather not desert material.
I
didn't
think about my puppy for a second.
And she seems a bit surprised. I thought your puppy was named Sylvia. That's the name that they gave me.
This is news to me because Puppy has always been Puppy.
Did you not actually talk to your dog? She says, looking at you sidelong. Dogs are people too, she says.
And I treat my puppy very well. I just don't have a way of communicating with my puppy.
I'm sure if you work on it, you'll end up being able to understand. They're quite easy, and she's quite well educated for a puppy. Apparently, she hears everything you get up to.
Okay.
One of the curious things I've got, of course, is that in all this time, was Puppy male or female in Douglas' eyes?
Was male, but
This sounds like a Star Wars thing again, Martin. You know what I'm talking about?
and again, Douglas thinks that Corda doesn't pay attention to the dogs.
I actually rolled a dice to see if it was going to be male or female when it came out. But Doomsday would treat Puppy the same either way.
As this person, I didn't quite get the name, Martin. Have they noticed myself and Roll at all any finished? Have they any sort of mention of us? Like, because we're two people that they haven't seen before.
She looks over at Kroll and at Sparky and says, "So, as you were servants of the champion who came in, I see you change sides."
They were actually sent to infiltrate and gain further intelligence about the Night Herald, which I'm sure they'll both be happy to provide to the esoteric order.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Do I feel that I can mention the Pathfinder Society here or not?
Well, she hired Pathfinders for this job, but you don't know that.
Because she would be aware that would have been part of what Corda let them know about why we were there, because obviously they haven't been told enough about the actual mission. Or they've been told about their mission, they haven't been told about our mission. So
yeah, well, I'll just say that I was hired to, from the Pathfinder Society, to get some more information on this group, and luckily we were, met up with our previous colleagues that we've worked in the past with. So, and I'll just say it's nice to meet you too. This is the first time.
She greets you and says, "Wishes you well," and comments that that's a lot of scars you've got.
Yes,
That's on too many traps.
Yeah, this work I was doing wasn't a easy job, and I had to go along with the flow with Miss Silvertongue. So, was Miss or Mrs. Silvertongue? Miss Silvertongue. Wasn't the most. Let's just say, as a leader, I would not recommend her. So.
Well, you managed to survive. She was surprised.
Yes, and thank you to my friend Kroll here that did a lot of work in that situation. But yeah.
Most likely a lot of late nights, she says.
Yes, I do owe Kroll a few drinks, and he's available, so we'll go to a bar. So I just give Kroll a look of I'm shouting the first couple of rounds. So.
I'd much rather you refilled my medical kit, given the amount of medical supplies I used on you.
We can sort that with the society later, okay? Let's just get through with this first bit.
So once the verbal reports have been completed from all those with intelligence to provide, obviously the opportunity to go through, confirm that the gem thing is the countdown clock that I'm looking for.
She does confirm that, and she does say that she expects to have Miss Deverin here soon to be able to take you back to the Pathfinder Society.
Okay. We'll also talk about the fact that all the books that we found in Tulasef's library, and pull out the mirror that apparently he was looking at and using to contact Parry can probably tell more about, because he's the one that looked most closely at it. But and also they confirmed the information that Marla had handed on about the fact that Tulasef had sort of changed his focus of his studies to the between the stars. So.
Okay, so with that, she pulls out a bag of gold pieces for each of you, gives you each 50 gold as payment for her work.
Nice. Is she, I can't remember other items, like the scimitar. Is there any other items that you found down in the crypt?
There was, in the crypt as well, besides the books, 2 scrolls and a staff.
And the scimitar.
Mm-hmm.
Well, obviously, they will come out as well, because part of the agreement was that they'd have first option on any of the items if they wanted them.
She studies the 4 items and says, these will do you more good than her.
Okay. Any explanation of exactly what they are?
She says you probably want to spend more time identifying them, but they looks like a magic staff, a magic sword, and 2 spells.
Spells.
The spells that she was able to figure out is Gust of Wind and Stone Skin.
Okay.
So she has no need of those spells. And the scimitar is a little flashier than what you'd like to carry.
Nice.
Is that stone skin the permanent one or the temporary one?
It is the spell Stone Skin, she says.
Alright.
Which I think in Pathfinder is good at every sort of thing. Or a... Yeah, okay, it's a spell stone skin, so okay, so yes.
Isn't there spell stone another spell called turn to stone or something?
That's a completely different spell. Turn to Stone removes life from the body and turns into a statue. Stone Skin gives you the skin of stone that leaves you almost impervious to damage.
It's basically a defensive armor spell. So, well, certainly from Cordar's perspective, the scrolls are the purview of the spellcasters. Parry and Valath and probably Luna might argue amongst the scrolls, I guess.
You'd probably say that the scrolls are best suited to Parry and Kroll, both being casters that can learn the spells if it's on their spell list.
Oh yeah, because Balance is sorcerer, isn't he?
And Luna is also equivalent of a sorcerer, does not learn new spells like other people.
Yeah. But hey, again, it's not like Cordar actually necessarily pays that much differentiation between various spellcasters. So as I said, happy that he can go to whoever can most make effective them. And I'm guessing that the scimitar and staff require further identification. So.
She
I might take the stone spell if that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Unless
I would think that, yeah, definitely, as I said, effectively parrying yourself, the other one's going to be interested in winning. So.
I'll read up on the exact features of the spell later.
So, yeah, all good. So, is there any indication as to how long it might be before Miss Heinbach is likely to be able to arrange return to
Absalom?
Oh, okay. I was thinking it's stuck with him, like in Varisia.
Magnemar is the one where you're based. Miss Hindmarsh is waiting for you in Absalom.
I was going to say this. We went by Absalom all the way through it. Like, so. But yeah, is there any indications when that return trip might be arranged?
As you asked that, Miss Devrin shows up. And she thanks you profusely for helping out the order.
Well, this is good. We have had some interest in the matter, having discovered the book that we found.
Stefan, you're beeping.
Sorry.
I was a bit concerned for a moment because I was vaguely playing with the cord on my speakers.
Is this E.T. Call Home?
Yes. My gnome grandfather is calling. I must return home.
So Miss Vord returns.
And as she's there, you hear the sound of a pop, and the Janni has returned as well.
Huh.
He didn't come through the same. He appeared in the room, but didn't actually. And Miss Devon walked through the door.
Oh, okay, so Miss Devon's here. Sorry, rather than actually wait, just go straight back to Makimar. Well, excellent. Okay. Well, greetings, and greetings to Banar, and well, obviously recognise he went up to Southgate, so I will wave and.
He waves,
and for the removal of the mummy colours.
He nods sort of in your direction, a little puzzled, but you sort of get that when you can't understand each other's language.
Absolutely, I'm more basically expressing gratitude.
So lots of nods, no real animosity, as he starts having a conversation with Lady Vord.
Yep.
Okay, so while that's happening, Miss Devon gestures you out of the room and says, I've got the Pathfinder ready to open the portal and take you back. Once I got word, I got her to start preparations. She should be ready by the time we get there.
Well, thanking you. We certainly had nothing else tedious here as far as I'm aware, so...
Well, we only borrowed you for as brief a time as possible, she says.
Well, we're glad we could be of service.
When we find out some more, we might seek you again. With your knowledge of what's been happening, you might be able to use that next time we go looking for more information.
Yeah, and I believe that certainly some of us will be happy to try and conduct a bit of research in the meantime ourselves. If we're likely to call again, I suspect that, hey, some of us learning Assyrian at least, or even ancient Assyrian might be handy.
I think Harry would probably jump at the bit for that.
That's what I'm thinking that and Luna on our side would certainly be keen. So.
She laughs a little with the that there's no living person who still speaks ancient Assyrian.
And when I'm saying from context perspective, it was the idea, yes. I'm sure we will have people who will be happy to help and are likely to conduct some research in the meantime. Not necessarily saying what sort of options they'd be looking for. But the implication is that, hang on, no one speaks Assyrian anymore, then that might make it more challenging.
Well, they speak Assyrian, just not ancient Assyrian.
Ancient Assyrian, yeah, correct.
But it has been quite a few thousand years.
Yes. But from our perspective, it's the idea of, well, okay, yep.
It's much like Thassilonian. People think they can read it, but no one knows how to say it.
Yeah. But so from our perspective, it becomes a language that, oh, hang on, that's possibly one that's worth learning, now that we know that it might be something we come across.
Yep.
It's from another faction, I believe, number one.
So, Josh, you know you're not on mute.
And so Miss Hindmarsh takes us back to not Hindmarsh.
Miss Devon and the Pathfinder that helped train you take you back to Absalom. You're given a chance to rest up there and give your findings to the council.
Yep.
Because they find the importance of what you're doing worth their time. And you have a gratitude from each of the factions who will give you bonus prestige
I think well, but it doesn't make sense about flying bit.
We will obviously give all the verbal reports and feedback as needed, and obviously conduct or prepare the time to also do the written reports as expected after Pathfinder adventures.
And each of the factions will give you a bonus because they've all been paying attention to these actions.
Oh, goody. And while we're in Absalon, it's probably going to be the most convenient place to potentially get the staff and the scimitar identified.
Okay, they identify the staff as the lesser staff of fire. And they identify the scimitar as a +2 scimitar that has a special power of casting Endure elements on the wielder. Though it is a command word, and the command word is for the honor of Assyrian in ancient Assyrian.
Oh, there you go. People are already learning it.
But that you can say it in your own language and it will still work.
Yeah.
But that's what they translated the original meaning to be.
Okay.
But hey, a +2 weapon is not a bad weapon to get.
Actually, so when we're talking +2...
+2 to hit, not plus... It's not striking.
Yeah, it's a +2... what's the word?
So it's +2 rune to hit, not rune for damage.
Yeah. It's got a striking rune. It's the... yeah, the other one, or the base one. Yeah.
I keep wanting to say proficiency, but it's not quite. A potency.
Yeah,
it's the potency rune. But you can put the striking rune on it and the greater striking rune on it.
Yes. The ability to cast spell, I'm assuming that's not actually a rune effect that might potentially be movable.
It is not a rune effect, so you cannot transfer it.
Yeah. And if the
+2 has been taken off it, then
you lose that, you can therefore lose the ability to cast spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You can enhance the weapon, not downgrade it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, cool. Well, certainly Cordar is interested in the weapon as much as, say, any other weapon that goes through, because he likes having a nice arsenal available. But is there anyone in the party that his scimitar is particularly suited for? I'm not certain whether or not there's some of the classes work with scimitars that don't work with other weapons.
Just pointing out to Peter that Willie's been on mute for a while, so if he wanted to speak up, we haven't heard him.
Sparky can't use it, so I'm looking out.
What does Willie want?
Power. He's got that in his wife.
Unlimited power.
No. He's definitely got that in his wife. Okay?
And Lord Hank. The savior of his life. Okay, so I believe that means that Cordar gets to keep the magic weapon.
Yeah. Well, it's not a simple weapon. It is a martial weapon, which means the monk doesn't get it.
I depends on the thing of the bard I was, I'm all character. That's all.
Sorry, the bard?
The bard might be on short. On something that's swashbuckler.
Oh, sorry, yeah, the goblin.
Yeah.
Hey, like Corda, didn't even pay attention. But it's certainly, okay, Corda is happy to carry his weapon, unless there's someone that specifically says, hey, I can use that much more effectively, because it's certainly, even a +2 weapon, it would not be Corda's preferred primary. So,
until it gets all the magic enhancements.
Sorry?
Once it gets all the magic enhancements, it might be, I might start using this.
That's just it. Like, it is certainly a good weapon that he would use and can use effectively. But he'd probably stick with his long sword, or even more preferably, if you get back of a bastard sword again, that would be preferred. So, but the Corda will certainly carry.
Is that what he says? Does Corda actually say this out loud?
What's that?
About his preferences for the sword.
Well, okay, certainly talking to the party, Corda is happy to be saying the fact that it's a very fine weapon that I will gladly carry, but it would not necessarily be the primary. I'm still looking to get hold of a bastard sword and then look to transfer some of the magic from my long sword into that bastard sword.
As he's describing that, you see the shape of the scimitar change and grow.
Oh, I love these sort of weapons.
Well, hey.
Sparky takes 10 steps back from here, this kind of stuff.
So yeah, Corda will give the what I'm assuming is now a bastard sword.
Yep, in the same sheath.
A test of balance and swing and everything like that, and so.
It seems to be of better balance than what your previous one was made out of.
Well, that would be hard, really, but all right, like the first one was masterwork, had some runes on it, but well, it would appear that the weapon has claimed me, if nothing else. So I'm claiming the weapon. And hopefully there's no argument.
Well, if it's a challenge, Duza may have to step up and accept it.
What was that, sorry?
If it's an actual challenge, then Duza may have to step up and accept it.
There wasn't well, Corda was not meeting a challenge. He was saying the fact that the weapon appears to have chosen me, and he was, he didn't hear any arguments.
Was Duza paying attention?
What should I roll for that? Perception?
That's completely up to you. Was Duza paying attention?
Oh, I probably was with that roll. Fuck.
I mean, we were talking about a very pretty weapon.
Well, Duza has very pretty weapons.
Yeah, not the sort of pretty weapon that Duza, in the same kind of way as Corda, not the sort of pretty weapon that Duza would normally go for.
What's my perception? Fuck, what can I read today?
Long day, late night.
Yeah, pretty much. 25, so yeah, I was probably paying attention.
Okay, so
watching the sword grow and change.
Did you feel like it was a challenge when he was asking if anyone else deserves a blade except for him?
I didn't think you see it.
I know, I'm just twisting the words slightly to what Duza hears.
I'm gonna do a will save for that one, Martin.
Sure.
And you die.
That's a pretty high roll again. 15 plus 9, which is 24.
Okay, so on top of Corda's words, you hear it in the tone of Gorham.
Okay.
So you have a feeling Gorham's going to be, twisting words that you hear quite frequently.
So, does that mean I failed or passed that?
You're not quite sure.
Okay. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Gorham is a god of battle. He doesn't care what the battle is, as long as the battle is going to be hard for you.
Yeah, I mean, I know I was following Gorham, but I was going more like family side of Gorham, but apparently Gorham didn't like that.
Well, and Gorham brought you back on the other side, apparently.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
So every time you get angry, he's going to expect conflict.
Yep. Awesome.
Because everything's resolved through battle.
Awesome.
I read up on Gorham, and he really is that nasty.
Yeah, I figured you would. The actual, I read the core rulebooks blurb on Gorham. I haven't read the link that you sent yet, but the book doesn't make it sound that bad. But
yeah. So if you were to say fight a child that you had no chance in losing the battle to, and call Gorham's name, Gorham may strike you down for that act.
Oh.
Because Gorham does not believe in unfair, one-sided battles from his followers. If you were the child then fighting the big mighty adventurer, there's a good chance he would honor the child for calling out his name and give it the power to strike you dead.
Yeah.
But
which is why Druza felt really bad about Poppy killing the kid, even though it wasn't intended, and it was also not technically. Well, no, remember in report?
I'm pretty.
Yeah. You killed the kid, really? No, yeah. Poppy killed the kid, because Druza wasn't paying attention, but that technically wasn't Druza, so.
And there was fresh pie that night.
And there was fresh pie that night, yes.
So. You have managed to get yourself back to Absalon. You have had quite a good performance from the party in dealing with the Pathfinder Society. You've actually gotten praise from each of the leaders of each faction. Even the one that you feel uncomfortable being around, they were actually quite nice and polite to you, saying that
Which one's that?
That was the Quadira faction, was the one everyone hated from both groups.
Fair enough.
Worked that one in perfectly fine for me. Though a lot of them also did not like the Snazzy faction.
Aren't I in the Snazzy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I just get Snazzy's the type of faction that you either dislike or work with.
Yeah.
Or work for. So, in the sense that, the mafia.
So yes,
If you're not part of the mafia, often people dislike them.
So next session we will return to Magnamar, and we will discuss how you're going to work out where to go next, because you've got problems to solve in Corvosa, in Riddleport, and in Magnamar. Plus a Sandpoint Devil to track down, lest someone die who's now got 5 days less on her lifespan.
Yeah, I have 356. Is that right?
Do it as 12 months of 28.
A year and a day.
So it's 12 months of 28 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're testing Josh's math now.
200 and so what was it? 28 by
12.
280, 200, so 6, 120,
336?
60.
That sounds about right. So 337 days all up, and you've used 5 of them.
And certainly, Martin, if this +2 bicycle sword apparently does the job, Corda will be keen to try and transfer the runes from his +1 flaming longsword onto the bicycle sword.
They go on quite easily.
Sorry, not +1. It's +1 striking.
So you
flaming
can
longsword.
you can move the striking and the flaming across.
Yeah.
And you still have a +1 longsword.
That's right. And a +1 flaming wind. You'll avoid use at all costs. So I'm not certain what the costs work out for doing that transfer, but if you can afford it, that's certainly what it's going to be going to do. And I'm assuming that while we're in Absalon, in the heart of the Pathfinder Society, probably the easiest place to try and make that happen.
Well, as part of giving your reports, they're happy to do that because it's just runestone cost.
Marvellous. I will put that into the character sheet. Thank you.
And you do find out from the other people that the Janni had actually changed the sword.
Oh, the Janni changed the sword. It wasn't inherent property of the sword itself.
It was not a property of the sword. He was told what you had what he had listened in on what you were saying through magic and had changed the sword.
Hey, well, okay. The in which case then, Cordar will. Well, this will be after we've gone through that slot, so he'll be saying, calling out to Marnie, thank you very much. Your service has been much appreciated. And privately, slightly disappointed that, oh, hang on, this sword is really cool. It does what you want it to be.
At which point you notice that with your flaming rune on the sword, it also has an air rune. You're not sure what the air rune does, though.
Right.
I'm going to have to head off, but thank you guys. And I will see you in a fortnight.
See you in a fortnight.
Good to see you again, hear from you again.
Good to have you back, Stefan.
Yeah, it's good to be back. All right, I'll
Rest
see you guys.
well.
Have a good night.
Good night.
So we'll end up closing up there as well, now that you've gotten the surprise of the shiny sword.
Hey, before we go, I was actually in the kitchen making a cup of tea at the same time. What other loot do we got? A couple of spells, a sword and something else, did we? Or?
A staff, the lesser staff of fire.
Which Parry had picked up.
That's cool. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
He's got the pokey staff of fire because, well, Pinwinkle was known for his fire, so now Parry's also known for his fire too.
And also, probably more importantly, Balathar's got at least the equivalent, I assume.
And also the chance of Parry losing wisdom by giving up the staff was quite high.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Parry had
blingy staff.
Yeah, Parry has the shard of greed in his arm and cannot give up anything he's picked up without making a saving throw and potentially burning his wisdom.
It's mine.
Another shard person. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. So the one the one Mark, your party found, is the one he got.
Oh, okay. He didn't do the proper thing like we do. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Oh no, he's going to have to lead the next quest.
Oh, okay. Yep. Okay, that makes sense. All good. I'll just ask because I did miss that bit. That's all, guys. So.
That was also done parallel to the games you were playing in.
Okay, gotcha.
So you didn't miss it. It just wasn't part of your story.
Okay. Oh, that's all good. I'm all good. I've gone through one cursed weapon. I don't need another cursed weapon right now. Back a while.
Okay, so we'll call it a night there, guys. Thank you very much for playing. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself. Sorry we didn't hear much from Peter before he headed off. I think he might have been caught up.
Yeah.
Or he couldn't get himself heard.
Right. Sparky did a good thing tonight. We meet a new person. So. I didn't expect that. I was going to hope, this is going to go backwards. It's going to go the other way. Definitely lost it. So it's all good. I'm happy now.
Obviously, Martin Corder will also replace his steel shield. Get a new one.
Yep, I believe that was going to happen, and I believe you also get yourself a backup shield too.
Well, okay, he already had his wooden shield as his backup, but...
Didn't that get destroyed in the battle?
Did it? Okay, you'll get a couple steel shields then, and a wooden shield. As like I say, got a couple backups.
The reason I was bringing that up was I remembered both shields got destroyed, and we're commenting on how amusing it was that both got destroyed.
And the fact that, yes, the realisation that he was stuck down in the longsword and couldn't do anything with the other hand, that's right, yes.
Yep.
I've got a couple of questions for you afterwards, Martin. Just a couple of things, just after we finish the session. So.
All good, so I'll go to end credits then.
Yep.
And if anyone wants to stay around, they can. And I will be on for a short time afterwards.
We'll stay on.
Okay. Going to end credits.